Welcome everyone. You're going to see the link at the bottom left side of your screen, and it's also in our chat. So you'll want to go ahead and log on to that link. That way you can follow along. During our morning, we're going to utilize some of the features within the presentation to use some of our virtual apps, and you will obtain access through it with the presentation.
Again, if you have a name in the computer that it's not your name, can you either change it or can you go ahead and send me a chat with your name and last name? We are taking attendance right now this morning, so we want to see who's with us. I still see some names that I don't recognize. I'm sorry. Thank you. For those of you that are changing it, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure. All right, so we're gonna honor everybody's time and we're gonna get started. It is 8 o'clock, a little bit past 8, so a couple minutes. So we'll go ahead and start our presentation.
Okay, welcome everyone. As I said earlier, at the bottom left, you're gonna see our link for our presentation. So we hope that you go ahead and utilize that to go ahead and bring it up. It's also in the chat. We had posted it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and do that again, so you can just click on it. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to math for 4th grade. And we're going to move on to our second slide with our introductions. This is the 4th grade team. I'm joining in as a guest. My name is Teresa Uparagiri. I'm the academic program leader here at Harding. And I'm gonna go ahead and have my co-host introduce herself.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Claudia Maldonado, and I am the Math Instructional Specialist for CNI, and it's so nice to see a lot of you guys, at least this
Yes, absolutely.
It's very nice.
Yes, and we're really excited to share with you some of the things that we've been working on, and I know there's lots of questions and lots of what ifs and such, and so we hope to clarify some of these things today and assure you of some models for math teaching today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on, and we have a message from Mr. Lukey that we're going to go ahead and play.
Can you share your sound, Ms. Parreira? Your computer sound?
Yes. I apologize for that. Could you remind me again where that is? I apologize.
Oh yeah, it's your 3 little dots that you see. It will say
Yes.
share computer sound.
Okay.
It's way at the bottom where all your tools are at.
Oops. Let's see here. See, and this is where.
No, it's in your Zoom tool, sorry.
Yes, I apologize. There we go. We should have it now.
We all learned it.
Good morning and welcome to Summer Virtual Institute. I appreciate and thank all of you for joining us this week and willing to learn with us as we lean into a new year of learning with our students. This is not the instructional program that we had hoped to accomplish this year in terms of our students starting the year in a virtual format. But I believe that together we will build a strong instructional program to support the students of our district. So I want to speak a little bit about the importance of this week's learning with respect to our instructional program and emphasize a couple of key points for us before we start today. First and foremost, I'd like to emphasize the importance of understanding what the state is requiring of school districts this year, and that there are a set number of instructional minutes that we must adhere to. It is our goal that through the virtual nature of our instructional program over the first quarter, that we can rise above and beyond those minimum minutes, ensuring that our students receive ample in-person to the best of our ability instruction, meaning synchronous learning, where we are zooming in with our students online, supporting them, teaching them, equipping them with the skills to be successful in this virtual format. And then we are also balancing that with what we call asynchronous time, where we are assigning kids to complete assignments through many of our instructional tools and resources, while we as teachers and educators work in small groups with students who simply need more time with intervention. And so you are going to receive a lot of information from our instructional services support team. You are going to receive a lot of tools and resources to support you with the instructional design of our program for this year. Just know that we're in this together. Let's support each other. Let's be there for each other, and let's work together to make the very best and strongest instructional program for our students. So once again, thank you very much. I look forward to learning with you this week, and I look forward to a successful school year. Thank you.
Welcome from Mr. Lukey. We're going to move on to our next slide in regards to what does our day look like. Well, we have 6 components on our agenda. First being our introduction, where we're just going to review our norms, our core priorities, our learning intentions, and success criteria for today. We're also going to talk about math behaviors and how we can elicit those math behaviors from our students through questioning and reasoning and engagement pieces. And we're going to look at our key essential standards for our grade levels, so our 4th graders can be successful in their math learning. And we're going to look at the lesson design, which I know many of you are very, very interested in know. How are these virtual lessons going to look like? And we're going to give you a description of them. We're going to look at the components, and we're going to have a model of what that could look like, whether it's virtually or in your classroom, but we're going to use a lot of those virtual tools today. And we're also going to introduce you to the EdTech Center, which is a fabulous website that is being launched with all of these different resources for us to use, for our students to use, and also for our parents to use. And then finally, in our last part of the agenda is our evaluation and sign out piece. So that's kind of just a quick look at what we're going to do today. Right. So just as I mentioned, we're going to be utilizing virtual tools. This is one of our first tools that we're going to explore using. This is called the Jamboard, and it's some of you may already have experience with it, and some of you may already or may not have experience utilizing this. So this is a whiteboard that students can work on independently, or you can share with the class to work on a group activity. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that white box in the center of the screen. That's going to take me to the Jamboard. And as soon as that pops up, you're going to see an example of what we're going to use it for. Okay, and I'm just going to give you a quick little tutorial of what you're going to see. I'm going to start on the left side where there's the cursor, the arrow. That allows you to select anything. Going to the top is the pen function, and there's different types of pens along with colors that you can pick and choose. Below the pen is the eraser, erasing items that you write on. Here is the sticky note, and this is what you see right in the center of your screen. The sticky note, once you click on it, brings up the option of different colors. And I'm gonna just go ahead and write, hello, my name is Teresa. And students can utilize this to write responses, create questions, whatever your activity may be. And I can also enlarge it or make it smaller, however I want to make it. And then over here, you can upload an image. You can pull it from the Google. You can pull it from your Drive. You can pull it up from your photos. So there's lots and lots of options. Even videos can be attached to that, which is awesome. It just kind of depends on what activity you're having your students do. This is kind of cool, the laser. So I could use it like if I want my students to look at a certain thing, I could say, hey, look at this green Post-it, and there it is. At the top is the background, and you could select different backgrounds. We picked the grid for this one, and you can clear the frame, so that can eliminate any of the writing and pieces here. And then one last feature here is this bar at the top. If you press on the down arrow, it brings up all the different boards that you can have in this. And so this is going to be utilized for groups. Possibly you're going to assign them to students to use and such. So, and that's how we're going to use it today, how you're going to see that modeled. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to explore with this Jamboard, but we're also going to have you introduce yourself to each other, and we're going to utilize the breakout rooms. So what's going to happen is that we are going to have you go into small groups. We'd like for you to introduce yourself, what year, school you're at, number of years at BCSD, and then maybe pick something that makes you happy. And then as you're sharing, you can create a Jamboard. You can incorporate an image if you like. You can make the sticky note and kind of play around with it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And Claudia, could we go ahead and make those breakout groups?
Sure, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So go ahead and hit join, and you guys will be joining that breakout room. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
And one thing, yeah, go to that sticky note or that Jamboard, whatever break room you're in. So if you're in 5, go to Jamboard 5.
To it. McKinley, one thing that I really enjoy is, I guess, hanging out and watching my boy play sports. I really enjoy that. Morning, Claudia.
Hi, good morning.
Claudia.
Just wanted to jump in and say hello. Good morning, everyone. Nice
I
to
love the Jamboard.
Yes, we're going to use it a lot today. It's
Cool.
a really cool tool. You guys are going to love it. Yes. And we're hoping everybody has access today.
Yeah, is this a program or is it through the Googles or what? The Google?
It is through Google's, and we use it a lot with our Google app, but it's nothing fancy. We're actually going to give you guys at the end the resources of how to use it. It's very simple to set up and use, and you can steal ideas from others that they have posted on Jamboard, other teachers and stuff. So you can use it as a whiteboard. You can use it however you want. It's phenomenal. So yeah, well, we're going to be using it a lot today.
Thank you.
All right. Nice seeing you guys. Saying hello. I'll see you guys
See
in
you
a
later.
little bit.
All right. Hey,
Why would I? No. Um,
And
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
hi,
How's it going? Were you guys successful in the Jamboard?
I'm trying to get to it. How you get to it? From do I have to go outside and put
No, you
Google
just click on it. No, you just click on the link.
Yeah.
Oh, the link is on chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Click on the link and that will have the PowerPoint, the slides, and then you'll go to, I think it's slide 5, and you'll click the Jamboard icon.
Okay. I think I have it.
And then Claudia, just a
Yes.
question. So to shuffle through the boards, it's that toggle back and forth at the top, right? When you're on Jamboard, those arrows.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
we'll
Those
go
little-
to board 8, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, and if you use this with your kids, it's something that is gonna take you guys a training at the beginning, showing them how to navigate that. But then after that, in less than a day or two, they got it. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on slide 5, but it's not okay.
Oh, no, it should be on slide 8 because we're group
slide
8. Mhm.
Oh, slide 8. No, that's not
Alrighty,
slide.
guys. Nice seeing you
No.
guys. I'm gonna say hello, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Claudia.
Hey.
Do you have the link to the slides? I'm actually in a chat room, but I don't have the link.
Yes, I will go ahead and give you that, and give me one quick second to our slide, right? Presentation.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, copy link. I just want to make sure I give you the one that it's linked. And okay. Okay, let's see if there it is.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Hello, welcome back. I hope you guys all had a chance to put something on the Jamboard. Welcome back. Now everybody's joining us. Perfect. One of the cool things about breakout rooms is that you can send messages to your kids through the breakout rooms, your students. You know, if you want to let them know you got a minute, you got 2 minutes, or, you know, if you forgot a message to let everyone know while they're in breakout rooms, it's a cool feature. So we're going to show you where to find all those if you haven't used them. So we'll go over that in a little bit. A lot of teachers have asked, like, how do I use Zoom tools, this and that? We'll show you guys where to find all that information.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we'll move on to our next slide, which is our virtual PD norms for today. We ask that everyone be respectful in muting themselves. There are opportunities for us to talk and such, and that's a point where we can unmute ourselves. Use the chat if you have questions or if there's a problem or something, and then Claudia and I can jump in. If you have a question related to what we're presenting or a question or a comment of some sort. And also, I thank you for your patience. Be patient. We're alongside with you, and then also be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. These are a lot of things that are new to us, and so we want to also be positive with each other and with ourselves. Again, there's a lot to learn today, and especially with virtually. Okay. All right. And so we're going to move on as we introduce our BCSD norms. These are going to be new in the previous sessions, or if you've attended one, but we're going to focus on celebrating our collective success, whether it's on an individual basis, the team basis, or our whole organization, looking at the success of moving forward. We're going to be engaged and focused and kind and respectful and collaborating and supporting each other, our team, our schools, and so forth in our collective work. And we are going to be willing to challenge each other to find better solutions so that we can move forward and help our students and meet their needs and such. And we're going to encourage each other, validate and support one another through being open-minded with new and innovative ideas. And also in regards to our feedback, we're going to be honest and open while not taking the feedback personally. We're just going to ensure that a safe environment for innovation, vulnerability, and strategic risk-taking, because we all know that this virtual piece is a lot of risk taking. We're putting ourselves out there to try new things. And with all of us working together, we can definitely learn from one another. All right. So just some housekeeping items that you're aware of in regards to sign out and the process that we have virtually now. So 10 minutes prior to ending our session, we're going to provide you with the link for the evaluation. We ask you kindly to fill that out and give us feedback so that we can make the future sessions better and we hear what you need and want. And then also the very important part about the sign out, there is going to be a separate sign out link given to you. This will be the documentation that will give you credit for the session, but also will be going to payroll. So please do not leave without completing the sign out form, okay? And those will be provided at the end of the session. All right, we're gonna move on as we talk about our core priorities. These are the same core priorities that we've had. And I see a pattern there of culture. We're going to focus on our culture of strengthening our culture during this, as we begin our year. We're going to look at efficacy, and we saw that in our norms. All of us, each of us have a great power to positively affect student achievement. Whether you're at a school site, whether you're in support, wherever we are, we make a positive impact on our students. And we are all about culture of teaching and learning. Not only are we teaching, but we are learning all the time and understanding that the standards that we are teaching to our students are critical for their readiness for college and career and for their success. And that takes us to student-centered schools, and that we have the child, the student, as our primary focus. We're looking at relationships, not only with them, but their families, and that's evident that we have that open communication and we build those positive relationships with our students and family. And our last one, we're supporting all of our learners, and that's very important to meet their academic, behavioral, and social emotional needs, okay? And so here we come to our learning intention. What are we going to be doing today? We're going to be looking at the lesson design, with the components, the purpose for the mathematical learning, and including a balanced approach to utilizing those math behaviors. We are wanting to provide you with the basis. We want to give you the support and the model today. A model, an example of a model that can be implemented in whether it's an online, hybrid, or fully virtual classroom. And we know we're going to be successful when we can navigate and deliver that rich instruction that's going to promote the mathematical learning for our students to thrive. Regardless of what environment they're in, they're going to be successful. And that's where our part is today, is to know how to navigate and deliver that and how we could do it, especially virtually. Claudia?
Okay, now you guys can hear me. Please let us know if we're cutting off a lot. I'm back at the district. I'm not at home, so we have no idea how the Wi-Fi is connecting here. So just let us know if we're cutting off, you can't hear us, or something's going on, or we're pausing or anything. Okay, so our math behaviors, we're gonna revisit our math behaviors today. Again, you guys seen this before. We talked about it in our previous PDs, but these are the behaviors we want our students, each student, to engage and internalize, to have the best experience with thinking, reasoning, sense making, and problem solving. We want to build their confidence in this strong math identity. So today's lesson, you guys are going to see how we are going to incorporate those math behaviors through the lesson, and then how you guys can use it with your students throughout this, distance learning environment. Okay. So we have a question for you guys. I know we have asked this question before, but now that you probably were teaching in this environment or, you know, seeing it in the classroom. Next slide, Ms. Iparraguirre, or can I move?
Yes, you can.
Can you move it for me? I'm sorry, something happened. So our next slide, we have the question. We want to use, we wanted to know, what have you used to draw out the math behaviors in your students? And also, if you have done it like in the classroom or virtually, and or what have you seen or read about the math behaviors on Twitter, Facebook, anything. So this time we're gonna use the Padlet. And so we'll give you guys the link. So if you click on the little Padlet, it takes you there. So I'm gonna click. For some reason, my thing is very slow today. Okay, so here we are. If you, I'm sorry, can we ask to mute ourselves? Let me see. Let me, I have to find who's not muted. Okay, so if you guys have the Padlet, if you click on it, if you can go in there and give us your answer of what are some things that you have done or used to withdraw the math behaviors in your students. And then we'll put the link in the chat as well. So give us a second.
I think I got like a little over 8 hours last night. 8 hours, some time to check. I remember waking up tonight.
Okay, so here's the link to the Padlet. And I see some of you guys already filling it out.
What was your score? I think I got at least a 88, 85 at least.
Let me know if you guys cannot access the Padlet, please.
245, 248.
At all.
That's 245.
We put the link in the presentation, in the chat, sorry.
Are you able to go to slide 12 where it has the question, what you have you used to draw out math behaviors in your students?
Let me go.
Which is slide 12. And if you go to that, after the question, it says, please respond on Padlet. And Padlet, if you click on that, that will take you to that link.
Okay, yeah, I'm on now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me show you guys how you, those of you that are using our Padlet for the first time. If you click the little plus sign, you guys will be able to add a new message. Okay. We would put it one more time on the chat. I know some of you guys are in a different device, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get that. So give me one quick second. I'm gonna go ahead and send the Padlet one more time through the chat, everyone.
I think I just did that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just did that. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and some people just send it on their chat, their answer if they can't get to the Padlet. Thank you, appreciate that. So let me say, I see some people saying they have to the number sense, yes. Group collaborations, number talks. Perfect. Closed line math before, yes. Collaborative discussions, number talks. I see a lot of the number talks, thank you, yes. And the good thing is that within our lessons, you guys will see how we incorporate some of the number talks as you guys navigate those lessons later that you still can use with your kids through this environment. Number says collaborative conversations, interactive manipulatives, very important, especially teaching distance learning. We'll be doing that. A lot of math discourse, yes. Manipulatives, math task, working in small groups, yes. A lot of those wonderful to withdraw the math behaviors with our kiddos. One of the cool things about Padlet, if you want to use this other resource for your classroom, somebody asked before, is the district going to purchase this? The answer so far is no. This is something that you can use. I know you have a limited amount. I've used it a couple of times. I do like it. But if something that maybe later in the future, if we continue to use, maybe our district will get it for us. But when you click the little plus sign, you are able to have your kids either record or record themselves answering the question, or they can upload again a video, they can upload an image. A lot of those little cool features too that Padlet has. So we wanted to show you that. All right, thank you for sharing. I see a lot of those small groups. Okay, great. So I'm gonna go back to my presentation. Thank you everybody for answering. Okay, so after our math behaviors, we also want to talk about eliciting student thinking and reasoning. And I know we get this information from our book called Principles to Action, which is Mathematics Success for All. And the book, it is linked here. If you guys ever want to continue to read it, we have linked the PDF. But with student thinking and reasoning, really what we want to know is what students are understanding and what are they thinking. We want to know what they're also misunderstanding. So with questioning, with collaboration, we can assess the student thinking. So as we plan to collaborate with our teams, our PLC teams, this can guide us on how we can integrate tools or questioning, and then also to have clarity about the students' thinking and learning. Now, just a side note, last month we provided a 2-hour PD around eliciting student thinking on this virtual setting. So we focus like on using Flipgrid as one way to gather student evidence that would help us get those, you know, understandings and misunderstanding and the collaboration and all of that. So keeping that in mind, okay? All right, Ms. Teresa.
Yes. So as we start looking at 4th grade content, you're going to see here that we want to start with looking at our key essential standards. And to the left, you see the grid with all of the grade levels. They're all hyperlinked and they're all available to you if you wanted to go to 3rd grade or look at 5th grade. But we're going to take a look at 4th grade. And we're going to go ahead and click on 4th grade. And it's going to open up to a doc, and you're going to see right away that at the top, you're going to see English language arts, and we're going to skip that part. And if you notice on the left side there, there's the tab or the outline piece. You could click on mathematics, and it's going to take you right to the math section. And we want to go ahead and look at the table, and we see some things already popping out that may look a little differently. And This document will hold a lot of, well, will hold the pacing for our standards for the year. So we want you to take a moment and start exploring through that and ask yourself one of two questions or both questions. What do you notice and what do you wonder? So we're going to give you a couple minutes to look at that. And then, Ms. Claudia, are we going to do some breakout rooms or just the Jamboard?
I'm going to go ahead and put them in breakout rooms first. And once you're in a breakout room, you guys will get the link to the Jamboard and do a notice and wonder. Again, whatever breakout room you're in, that is the slide that you're going to use. Let me show one more time our notice and wonder. It's a different one than the one you did before. So here's, like, for example, group 1, that's breakout room number 1. You guys would do a notice and wonder. And then if you move, here's for group 2, notice and wonder. So as you guys are in your breakout room, you're looking at the essential standards, you guys are doing a notice and wonder, okay? So let me put you guys in breakout rooms right now. I'm gonna put you in the same breakout rooms, and then later I'm gonna move it around so you can go to different breakout rooms. Go ahead and click join, and then I will share the link for the Jamboard.
You're supposed to go to your group. So we're group 3. So we go to slide 3.
Got it.
What you notice, what you wonder. I like that it's broken up into weeks. They tell you, okay, you're teaching this for 2 weeks, you're teaching this for 4 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so there's time frames given.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want, you guys, I'll just go to Jamboard board 3, unless Katie, you're already there. It looks like you are, huh?
Yeah.
Do you want to open a window and start typing our observations?
Sure.
Rock on. I'll read them off to you if you want.
Notice there are time frames.
Yeah, time frames provided.
So I believe that's why they're beginning there for the first. So we do have week of iMath for the 3 days again. And then we're starting with time, so that's different.
Okay, that's something to note.
And then we begin with place value, MBT1, and so forth. So that's different.
Yeah, definitely.
And then next to the standards, if you just keep going down, for some of them, it provides you with the framework. You can click on the links, maybe to look at some of those examples. And it's all the way up until May, so that's a whole year as far as the expectation for now. Yeah. So that's done for us.
Wow.
You guys are good. Good questions. We're going to have lots of questions. Thank you. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
Welcome. All right, it looks like now they're starting to join us. Thank you. All right, so it looks like we're getting the majority of the people back, or the majority have joined us already. I'm just gonna go quickly over some notices, and if there's still some questions that need to be clarified, we can clarify those very quickly. But yes, some of you guys have noticed they are prerequisite skills, right? And those are third grade standards that our students missed in the previous school year, which was around the spring when we left the school. So assuming those standards were not taught to their full rigor, those are prerequisites, yes, for fourth grade teachers to consider, especially before teaching your content. If the student was not for example, if you're doing rounding to the thousands, but in third grade, they need to round to the hundreds, that is something to consider and just go at a lower, instead of starting right off with the thousands, you would have to start with the hundreds. And that's the things that we want you guys to start looking at, and not necessarily teaching the full third grade standard to its rigor, but considering those skills that need to be addressed before teaching your actual standard. There's also, people talked about, you guys notice some progression of skills taken into account. Yes, timeframes were given. This time, the standards are broken down by weeks and by the months, kind of giving you an idea of how many weeks per standard, considering they go all the way through May. We wonder what the rest of the year will look like. Yeah, that is a good question, and I wish I could have the answer to that. We don't know. We don't know with this situation. But we're here to support, and whatever happens, we will definitely support you guys. So yes, so noticing that we start with things that we're not able to get at the end of the year. Also, another thing is the blue color, it is the additional and supporting standards, and the other ones are the regular standards. And so a lot of the other stuff underneath the standard, some of you guys did notice that there were skills. And so those skills, when you say broken down into chunks or broken down into term-specific math behaviors, yes. Those skills are being pulled from the framework. And so kind of like deconstructed the standard for you guys already. So you guys can see what skills you guys need to focus on so the students can, you know, master the content, or as we're planning to make sure that we focus on those skills. If the kids needs place value and it calls it out, it says place value, then we want to focus on that place value and making sure we're using it. Or we also link the framework when it's needed for some additional examples by the standard, so you don't have to go looking through the whole document and say, okay, where can I find this? We try to link it straight to that specific standard to help you guys out. And so that's pretty much a lot of the stuff that you guys did notice. Any question or anything that you guys want me to answer, you can either put it on the chat or let me know right now, so we can move on.
Why weren't there ELD standards embedded like ELA, like in the math standards? In ELA, if you scroll up, you can see the things they had for ELD students. How come we don't have the same things for, you know, speaking and listening?
For math, the ELD standards are, like you said, speaking and listening. We don't embed them in our, what is it called, on our math standards, because there are our math behaviors. So our math behaviors do call out like the collaboration, the critical thinking, the speaking, the justifying. So those live in our math behaviors. Now, the beauty of this is that we don't want to forget about that. So through our lesson, when we model today, you guys will see how those are embedded as well for our EL students. So yeah. Okay. So we're going to move on because we still have a lesson. We want to go through that lesson. That is the purpose for our PD today. But just so we take a little, you know, breathing time, a little stop time right here. We do have 2 quotes for you guys to consider as we're navigating through this together. You know, learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes. That's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. So empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. So as we are teaching our students, you know, knowing the situation they're going to be in, considering all of that us as teachers, you know, we're navigating through this together. We're all in this. And so we're here, like, again, to support and hopefully supporting each other as you guys meet with your teams, PLC, collaborate, keeping all that in mind. All right, so with the standards that you guys saw, the essential standards, we created this document that it's the weekly lesson plans that you guys will see in a few minutes, and we will model one of these ones. And so the team was asked to create a sample lesson plan that could be delivered in this virtual format. So we have 4 weeks worth of lesson plans for you guys to start off. And it targets those standards that were created. So here's the thing. We did this as a PLC. We collaborated with grade level teams. And what we did is we created these lessons and also the model lesson that you guys will see. But this cannot be done alone. You guys, I don't know how much I can emphasize this, but this has to be a PLC, everyone together collaborating to make something like this happen. You guys would have to use, you guys can use this lesson plans if you like, or you can change it, modify it, however you like to meet the needs of your students. Also, you guys have the autonomy to either take out the slides if you don't like it and introduce your own. Just not because we give you this is the way we want you to teach, we're giving you the floor. And it's just for you guys to get started, get an idea, and then it's up to your teams for you guys to change the lessons or again, redesign them to meet the needs of your kiddos. Okay, so in the daily lessons, we have presentations, target standards. So I'm gonna click on it so I can just show you what they look like. And you guys will have time to navigate those. We have the standard here, we have the targets, we have skills, like the ones you see seen on the essential standards. Here's the skills for that standard. We have the learning intention success criteria for you. But again, you have the autonomy to change that. You don't like that learning intention because it's not what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. Vocabulary, it's there. We have talked about vocabulary. Sentence frames to support our EL students, especially with speaking, okay? So when they're speaking and collaborating in groups, there's some sentence frames. We have an intro, which is an opening, number talks, estimation, you name it. And we also have the modeling lesson. This is for the teacher, not for the student. This is me as a teacher. I'm gonna be reading this and kind of guiding me of what I need to ask or do as a teacher. But if you guys notice, when it says weekday, week 4, day 4, it's actually my teacher slides that are linked. And I'm not gonna click on it because that's my model lesson for today. So I'm gonna model this to show you guys what it looks like. There's also some interactive manipulatives that you guys can use. And there's also a student worksheets that you guys can assign your students in Google Classroom and stuff like that. So your students can do independent work. So that's what our lesson has. This is what was created. And so just a little brief definition is that, when we create our learning intention, it's what do we want the students to know and be able to do? Success criteria, how will we demonstrate their understanding and learning? Here's another thing. We added the item specs too, examples of evidence so students can demonstrate. I know in the past you have gone to the unit and it was on the side. What we did with this lessons, we grabbed the item specs and copy and pasted there. So you don't have to go searching for them. You have them in that lesson, okay? You have an opportunity to check for understanding. And again, giving you guys those additional resources or additional support, okay? Those of you that are asking if you have those lesson plans in Spanish, I believe the DI team is working on them for K through 3rd. So far I've seen it. So when we go to the website and we navigate, please look for those Spanish ones. They will be provided for you guys. Good question. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go into my model lesson. And please allow me today, I'm gonna put you in the students' seat today. So you will be my students. I'm gonna model Fabo as the teacher. Again, using these resources, how it will look like in this virtual setting, right? I'm also gonna ask you guys to navigate through some tools. So Miss Teresa, she is going to share with you guys. You can click on the picture on my PD. Let me go back. I just went too fast. I'm so sorry. So on here on my actual lesson, if I click on the picture, it takes me to that model lesson. But we can also share in the chat, we will share the link to the model lesson so you guys can follow along with me. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is week 4 of day 4. So assuming that you already taught the other days and the other weeks, this is where we are pretty much towards the end of the 4 weeks that we have provided, okay? Because I'm gonna be talking about some other stuff and you're gonna go, well, you didn't show us that. No, I'm letting you know, this is week 4, day 4 of that 4th grade lesson. They told us we could select any lesson, so we selected the one we liked. And some teachers have asked me, why you didn't go in order? And I go, well, they asked us to select our favorite, so I selected the favorite. But here it is, guys. So resources that you guys will see in this lesson, we have Jamboard. You guys already experienced that, but we also have it in our lesson. We're gonna be looking at some virtual manipulatives. You guys are going to see some Padlets and maybe some YouTube videos if we have time. And there will be in Zoom, we're gonna do again breakout rooms. And if you have not used the annotation tools in Zoom, we'll be using those today. And again, we'll show you where to find in Zoom. If you're new to this, we'll show you where to find videos to help and support you. All right. Well, welcome class to Ms. Maldonado's class today. My online classroom norms are be on time, be prepared to learn. We would like you guys to mute yourself. Be sure to mute your microphone when joining class. The camera video on. I would like to see your beautiful faces and know who's with me with this class today. So if you guys can please turn on your camera, track the speaker. Participation, we want you guys to be focused, pay attention, and be an active participant. And when we use the chat, we want them to use it respectfully to ask questions or share ideas. All right, so our standard for today is 4 MBT3. And you guys are gonna see some vocabulary that has to do with rounding, estimating, and place value. You will need a pencil or paper. If you don't have a pencil and paper, if you have a whiteboard, if you have one, that would be phenomenal too. You can use that or a marker. But I'll give you guys a minute about to get a paper and pencil, please. Okay, if you guys can give me a little thumbs up to know that you guys have your paper and pencil and it is in your little reaction. I see some that have it on their video, but if you guys, thank you. If you use your little reactions, I can see. Perfect, awesome, thank you very much. All right, okay. So our sentence frames for today that we're gonna be focusing on as we're collaborating with our teams or with our groups is blank is between blank and blank. Blank is closer to blank than blank. And then blank rounded to the nearest blank is blank, okay? All right, our agenda for today, what are we gonna cover in this lesson? Well, today we'll round to the nearest hundreds and thousands. We are going to use an estimation 180. We're gonna use rounding using a number line, and we're gonna go over the steps of rounding. We have practiced already using the place value, but today we're gonna focus on that number line. And then we're gonna use an exit out ticket. For tomorrow, you guys will continue to run numbers using a vertical number line, okay? So today we're gonna use the horizontal number line, keeping that in mind. So let's go ahead and start with an estimation 180. I would like you guys to look at the picture, okay? And you're gonna give me an estimate of what is the value of the roll of pennies. So I want you to think first. Okay, so hopefully some people have a value of what their estimation would be with the roll of pennies. So what I'm gonna do very quickly, I'm gonna stop my share because I wanna share with you guys a whiteboard. All right, and with my whiteboard, I'm using the Zoom tools. I have a pen, but you don't have to use a pen because this one already has a pen, and you can either use your mouse or a touch. But Maldonado is gonna use the tools today to model for you guys. So I'm gonna make my best number line. Okay, so would anybody in the chat tell me what was your estimate?
42 cents.
Okay, I hear people saying 42. I see some
52,
52. Yes.
52. No.
52. Okay, so
Yeah.
here's the beauty of it. I'm gonna stop right there. So you guys are putting your answer because I hear 50 and 52. Before I put it there, I have to put my marker of where I can put my numbers, right? So being our lowest estimate, would you guys agree that maybe lowest would be like a 0, 1, 2, 3, somewhere? But then anybody can unmute themselves and tell me what would you do as the lowest estimate, just so I can put my markers on my number line. Oh, thank you. I see a 20. Some people said 35. You know what? Oops, I am so sorry. Let me go back. And you know, the beauty thing about this is that if this happens, don't feel bad. It happens to the best of us. Okay, so we said 20. I'm gonna go ahead and put my 20 somewhere over here. And for my highest estimate, let's put it at 100. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and go over what you guys said was your actual estimate. If your actual estimate was about 52, where would I put my 52? Now, if you're very familiar with Zoom, I can tell you, you can have your kids use the tools to write with you, but if you're not, at the top where it says viewing options, if you click on it, you do have the annotating tools and you can annotate with the teacher. Now that's up to you, that's a management thing because then everybody starts writing and then you get crazy things on your number line, right? But I would say, you know, Johnny, can you annotate with 50 is, and then have that person, that student show you, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead.
Or you can incentivize it. Claudia, you can make an incentive for the classroom. So you can have one person based off whatever they're doing and make an incentives because kids are going to want to show how savvy they are. You can make an incentive.
Exactly. And also when you're doing number talks, this is the perfect way for them to show you what they're thinking. Have them write it out if you don't want it. Yes, but make it an incentive. I like that. Yes. So anyways, I'm going to go with 50. So I have 20. Oh, somebody's already writing 50 for me. Do we agree on that?
I am. I went ahead and annotated so they could see. Sorry.
Yes, so Ms. Teresa is annotating for me. Wonderful. So she kind of put 50 right there. Hopefully, go ahead. All right. And some of you guys said 52. Where would I put my 52? Would I put my 52 between 20 and 50 or 50 and 100? And somebody can unmute themselves and let me know. And I see them on the chat too. So I do read the chat because they're telling me 50, between 50 and 100. Okay, so I'm gonna put it somewhere over here, my 52. And those of you that have said 35, where would I put my 35? Between my 20 and 50 or my 50 and 100? And you can use the chat to let me know. Okay, yes, 50 and between 20 and 50. And somebody's annotating for me right there, 35. Please, whoever's doing that. Now, somebody asked, is there a way for us to know who's annotating? No, not really. But I can tell you, I would call out on students' names, or if you don't, you know, it's, I have used that before where I just would call on students' name. They have said, hey, Fernando, can you annotate for me today? And then that person would annotate, okay? So thank you. So this is our estimate. And go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and see now. We're gonna go ahead and see if we actually have our actual estimate, if it is correct. So I click on that. Here was our picture. We said 52. Some of you said another number, but let's see if you guys are even close. So we would go ahead and now look at our quick video. I am so sorry. Very sensitive. That's good to know.
Yeah, we can't see the video.
You can't see the video?
No.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop my share. And I thank you for letting me know. Okay, here it is. Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I click on it on my part, I was seeing it. Thank you. There you go. All right, so our estimation was 50, so we were pretty close. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on with our lesson. Again, today our success learning intention is, again, we're learning to round to the nearest 10,000s using that number line. So just like Ms. Maldonado used that number line for estimation, we're gonna keep that in mind as we're rounding as well. We know we're successful when we can round using a number line to the nearest hundreds and thousands. So I have a math behavior as we go. I would like you guys to think about, we're gonna behave like mathematicians today. So I'm gonna have you guys focus on making sense of the problem and persevere in solving it, especially because we'll be using our number line for rounding. It's something a little bit different. And as we do that, when you collaborate, communicate, I want you guys to think critically about the content that I'm showing you. And then when you are in your breakout rooms with your groups, explain the meaning of your problem. You know, that's behaving like a mathematician. And also as we're working this, see if you can find different ways to solve the problem, okay? And consider if the answers make sense. And if they don't make sense, we are going to justify as needed. Okay, so that would be our norm for today that we're gonna be focusing on. All right, so I have a number line here. And I got out of present my features just so you know, because I want you to see the little tools. Okay, so with our number line, we have 4 through 0 is less than. So any number 4, 3, 2, 1, round to less is less than, is the less numbers going to 0. But our numbers 5 and greater than, they will round to the nearest number, that is 10, our nearest 10 number. So 5 will round to 10, 6 to 10, and so on. Okay, so this one right here, I have 0 to 20. So again, we already talked that our numbers 0 to 4 will go to 0 and not our nearest 10. So here's 0, here's 1. We have our number 2, 3, and 4. So all of those numbers will round to the smaller number 0. But when we started with 5, we said 5 would round to our nearest 10 number, which is 10, in this case in my number line. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make our little circle here for my number. That's where we are rounding to. And you know what? I'm just gonna make it that color, so I know it's my little purples that are rounding here. So then we have 6 that rounds to the nearest 10 because it's closer to that 10. You guys see it getting closer and closer. So looking at that distance, right? 7 would round to 10. We have 8, 9, and 10. All right, but I have more than 10 numbers. Now I have 11. So using your chat box, look at where 11 is at in distance from our next 10 number, which is 20. And would 11 round to 10 or would it round to 20? Looking at that distance, where is it closer to? So go ahead and tell me in your little quick chat box, what do you guys think? And I will be looking at the chat box. Okay. Yes, I see people saying they were round to 10. Okay. All right, you guys are correct. It will round to 10, so I will put 11 here that rounds to 10. And looking at my 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think all of those would round to 10. Let's see. They're closer to 10. What do you guys think? Give me your little reaction for thumbs up, yes. Maybe thumbs down, no. When I see what you guys are thinking, I see some thumbs up. Some people, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna go to our number 13, again, closer to 10. Our 14, which is rounding to that 10. But here I have a situation. I'm at 15, and 15, it is halfway between 10 and 20. So when I get to that halfway, will we round to the 15 to 10, or can we round it to our next number, which our next 10, which would be our 20? So I want you guys to think about that for a second. And please, I would highly encourage you guys using your chat. If you guys can please let me know in your chat. Ms. Maldonado does look at the chat. She likes to look and see who is responding. And I have patience, I will wait. Ms. Teresa, do you see any responses on our chat?
I do. I see a lot of responses of 20.
Perfect, 20, okay. So we have our 15 does respond to 20. So since I changed the color, guess what? Our next numbers will round also to 20. We have the 16, the 17, the 18, we're getting closer, 19, and 20. All right. Well, that looks easy. That looks perfect. But what about if I ask you right now to start at a different number? What about if I ask you to start at 24? Looking at our distance, right? Where our 24 would round to 30, or would our 24 would round to 20? So those are our next 10 numbers. So I'm gonna have you guys look at it. In what direction would I go? Would I go to my left or would I go to my right? Okay, so let's see. My 24 is there. So I have 2 10 numbers. What would it round to? Miss Teresa, can you let me know real quick?
Yes, I can. Most of them are saying left on the number line to 20.
Yes. So we are gonna head that way, and you guys are correct. 24, moving to the left of the number line, would only round to our next 10 number, which would be 20. Well, guess what? I model this for you guys using this, and you would have an opportunity to do that in groups. So in my next presentation, you're gonna go to another Jamboard, which is a little bit different. In this time, you are going to collaborate with your teams on how you will round this number. So I'm gonna click on my Jamboard before I put you in breakout rooms. And the instructions are given here, again, in your little Post-it. And in your Post-it, it has a group number. So group number 1 is you are breakout room number 1, you do group number 1. You wanna know what group you're at, expand it and go to that slide because that is your group number. And you guys will work together to do this problem. Now, you might not be in the same breakout room you were before because this time I'm gonna go ahead and recreate the breakout room. So hopefully you guys have different people now that you can collaborate and share with, okay? So ready? And we're gonna give you a few minutes, go.
Hello.
Hello. Did you guys have access to the Jamboard thing?
I'm already there. I think they're working on getting there.
I'm there as well.
Okay. So we move. Does it matter what color we start with?
Yes. No, or it's up to you guys.
Okay.
And this is the cool thing.
So we used purple for larger or greater than, and then green was for smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. So there's 146. I like how I could see your little, I was wondering what that was. The little.
That is the person who's working. So you as the teacher, you can either monitor that way to see who's moving and working, as you can see their little icons.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to be jumping around, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, good. I love it. Who's sharing their screen?
I am. Hi, Claudia.
Hello, I am so glad you guys are trying that out because I mentioned it before and I forgot to say it. Yes, you can share your screen and show what you're doing.
She's trying to find the tools to put a circle around 150.
Yes.
Okay, so go to the pen, click on the little pen. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can click on whatever color you want and there's your pen. Go ahead and circle.
So, oh, I guess I can circle the 150.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you
I
can
love
use
my
your pen.
penmanship.
Oh no, hey, you're using your mouse. Erase and redo it. You can use it, select a different color. We want you guys to really explore these tools because they're phenomenal. But you know, we want you guys to feel confident using them as well.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, as for figuring out what students are participating, is there going to be a solution to that?
It's going to be up to your norms. I'm going to be very honest, and you setting up those expectations for them on participation. It's not as easy as if it was in the classroom who's doing all of this, but when you assign independent work and they do it in Google Classroom, then you can keep track of who's turning in the work like you would normally do. So that is where you hold them accountable. In this type of environment, collaboration, participation, engagement, it's not as easy. I wish I could say yes, but it's not. But I make it a norm and I'm like, you better participate. I can tell who's participating.
Yeah, don't let them know. Don't let them know we can't tell.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All righty. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
All right, welcome back. So people are joining us back now that they got the message that is closing. Do you guys had a chance to finish up the activity? Thank you. See thumbs up. Nice. Thank you. Yes. Awesome. All right, it looks like we got the majority back. Thank you for sharing. So as a teacher here, I would go over and I wouldn't do it for time's purposes right now, but I would go over and I would say, okay, so group one, can you explain to me what you did? And what you and your group discussed and talked about when you guys were selecting this number, okay? So I would have them share with me and with the whole class of how they got to that number. And then I would move the frame and I would say, group two, what did you guys do here? Can you explain to us? And somebody from group two would be the speaker. I would do the same thing for group three. Oh, see, I got somebody saying, I got 100%. Yes, you did. And so on. So teachers, you know, you can ask. That way they begin to know that you're going to hold them accountable for completing the assignment and collaborating and at the same time sharing with the whole class, right? And I would select a different speaker each time, not the same kid all the time. Like this time, you know, Juan, you're going to be my speaker for group three. But then tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and have Jesus be the speaker for group three if I have them in the same group. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So thank you for completing that assignment. We're going to go ahead and move on quickly. Now we have, let me put this in our present mode. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So when we're using the number line strategy, we're going to remember that we already used the other steps, which was making that place value, writing the numbers that we're being asked to round the place value, underlining that place value being asked to round. We're going to create our number line again, plot those numbers, and then look where we're going to be rounding to and seeing where our numbers are in between what and what. So again, step one, we make a place value chart like we did before. Step 2, we write our numbers on the place value chart. Okay. Our step 3 is now we underline the place value being asked to round. So in this case, we're rounding the hundreds. That's why you see the 2 underlined, because it is the 200. So we're rounding to the next 100. Then we create our number line and we plot our numbers. So you guys saw, like I did my estimation 180, and we did this other one before when we were rounding with the tens, that our 200 is between the 253, sorry, it's between 200 and 300. And halfway, we have 250. So when we plot the numbers on the number line, my question to you would be, okay, 253 rounded to the nearest 100 would be, so where would I put my 253? Between 250 and 300 or between 200 and 250? I'm gonna have you guys use the chat for this one.
We see between 250 and 300 as one response. Oh, many of those responses are coming through.
Okay, so yes. They're saying 250 and between 250 and 300?
Correct.
Okay, yes. So if I have my 253 between 250 and 300, where would it round to? So 253 rounded to the nearest 100 would be, I see a lot of responses. I see 300. I see 300. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, friends, it is to 300. Okay. Well, that was simple, right? Hopefully, we'll get to practice. Okay. So now let's do that one together, okay? Because you saw the other one with the steps. So I have 321. We are going to round this one to the nearest 100. So first, we make our place value chart. Next, we write our numbers. So guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and type them. And if you can't see me, make sure you do have your full screen on here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so 321. Next, we underline the number being rounded. So we know we're rounding to the hundreds. So that's why I underline the hundreds. So I'm gonna go ahead and rewrite 321 here. Okay. Now, we are going to place our numbers on the number line. And so 321 is between our 300 and our 400. So our number that is halfway between 300 and 400, let me give you guys a hint. It always ends with a 50 because it's our halfway number. So obviously it's not going to be 450 because that's greater than 400. So it is our 350. That's our midpoint. That's our halfway. Okay. So putting our numbers on a number line, now what I would like you guys to do is help me out. And where would I put 321? And I know I'm asking you to use the chat a lot because I am looking at the chat, because this is something that Ms. Maldonado will be reading and looking for. So where would it be? I see people saying between 300 and 350, between 300 and 350, okay. And so because 321, and let me know if you feel comfortable putting it somewhere over here. If not, I can move it more to the left or I can move it more to the right. So I'm gonna put my number there. What do you guys think? More to the left, more to the right? You can unmute yourself and let me know, or you guys are good right here. We're good? You guys agree? Okay, so I will put it there. So then having our number plotted there, then 321 will round to what? It said closer to 300 or is it closer to 400? Now, looking at that distance, can we tell? Yes, I can see the majority of you guys are putting 300. So I am going to go ahead and circle my 300 because that's where that number rounds to. Good, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, simple. Whew. Okay, now what about the thousands? 300 seem pretty simple, but now let's look at our thousands. I'm gonna do the same thing. You guys are gonna help me out today again. We're gonna go ahead and put make our place value chart, and then we put our numbers in our place value chart. So we have 4,447. All right, next, we put a line to the place value we want to round to, and it says right here, thousands. So that is the reason why I put a line under the thousands. Again, I'm going to put my number, 4,447. So 4,047 is between 4,000, oops, I'm going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4,000 and 5,000. What would be my half point, my middle point? What would be in the middle? Let me look at your chat. 4,500, 4,500. Yes, friends, we know it ends in a 50. So we would put the rest of the numbers. So it is 4,500. Nice. Even though it looks like a big number, we can still do it, okay? And when we get to the 10,000s, don't worry, it's piece of cake, it's the same thing. All right, so plotting our numbers, now we can go ahead and look at our 4,447. So yes, I had to redo my little number line because I want you guys to see again what I just did. So 4,000 to 5,000. Okay, and over here, you guys said it was 4,500, so I'm putting it here. Okay, so now looking at my number, I have 4,447. 4,447, is it between 4,000 and 4,500, or is it between 4,500 and 5,000? So I'm gonna look at your chat. I see 4,000 and 4,500, 4,000, 4,500, thank you. Left to the 4,500, I like that, left, because you can help me out pretty much where I would put it. Okay, so when we said left to the 4,500, can I, somewhere over here, somewhere closer to, maybe here? And if you guys feel like it's way too off, let me know and I can move it. Okay, good. I see somebody said, oops, I gave you the wrong number, but yes, we got you. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and put our number, 4,447. Okay, so now knowing that and putting our number, so our 4,447, is it closer to 4,000, looking at the distance in the number line, or is it closer to our 5,000? Let me see. Yes, we see a lot of 4,000s, and guess what? 4,447 rounded to the nearest thousand is 4,000. Thank you. Not so bad, right? Awesome, thank you. Okay, well, guess what? You do get to practice. So remember that paper pencil I told you about earlier? Okay, now you're gonna use it because yes, paper and pencil is fine. Not always computer, we can do the old way. I'm a paper pencil girl. Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do, You are going to work on your own for a couple minutes and you're gonna round 682 to the nearest 100. So Ms. Maldonado is gonna give you a couple minutes to do that on your own. So I'm gonna mute myself. Shh, quiet, go. I see some of you try those tools. All right, what I'm gonna have you guys do now is after you use your paper and pencil, for time purposes, if you can please, I would have the kids go in a breakout room and I would go in there with them and see, you know, to share with your groups. But we want to give you guys all the information on how to do all of this. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of ending it here, but I'll show you a little bit more what I've done. If you guys could put in your chat, what was your answer when you rounded 682 to the nearest 100? What did you guys get? And if you're typing, I highly encourage maybe using that sentence frame or anything that you like. I see 700, that's fine. 700s, if you use that frame, that would be great. I would highly encourage the kids even typing that frame as well. Okay, so I see 700. Yes, thank you. 700. 682 is between 650 and 700. Thank you. Yes. Okay. 682 rounded to the nearest 100 is 700. Thank you. 682 rounded. Yes. It's between 650 and 700. So it rounds to 700. Thank you. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Yes. And I will read every single one. Let the kids know I'm reading them with them and stuff. And then teachers, for the next practice, I would have them do the thousands, you know, kind of the same way, and then share with them in their groups. But here's the thing. When they come back to you, you would do this whole class, you would do another session when you guys can do the small group, differentiated, know who's getting it, who's not getting it, who's having trouble with. So I wanted to show you that after the lesson, even an exit out, you can do independent activities with them. Some of you guys are very familiar with the may do's, must do's, and the catch up. So I wanted to give you guys a little idea here that when I would have them log back in and I have to differentiate here, I'm gonna pull that small group where it's gonna be, you know, practicing on those rounding using the number line with Ms. Maldonado. The other group will be working while they wait for Ms. Maldonado. They will probably be submitting answers in Google Classroom. There's a worksheet that they will have to work on their own, or maybe using those, you know, those Google documents that they can submit answers in, you know, if they have trouble with Google Classroom. And then some may do's that they can do, they can practice using the interactive number line, which is another digital tool to practice rounding. And, you know, for catch up, some nesting assignments. So kind of giving it that what you do in the classroom, you know, having your may do's, must do's, and catch ups assignments as you have that small group. So I wanted to show you how to incorporate it in this virtual distance learning kind of idea. Okay, I know we're getting closer to the end, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Iparaguirre, and we're going to continue because you're probably wondering, where do I find all this stuff? It's great and dandy, you model, you did it, now what, right? So we'll get there, I promise.
Mute, she's mute.
You're muted, Ms. Iparaguirre, sorry.
Oh, I apologize. So we're going to go to slide 21, and that takes you to the Ed Tech Center slide. And this is a special website that's going to hold all of these lessons and much, much more. So we're going to click on the link, and it's going to take you to the website. And you're going to see it very organized. You're going to see a sliding toolbar on the left side as it comes up. And then you're going to see the options by grade level, Ed Tech, Google Classroom Guidebook, things for the kids, things for the family, SEL, Zoom. I want to highlight.
Can you highlight Zoom real quick?
Yes, absolutely. That was one of the areas I wanted to, Claudia. So in the Zoom section, a lot of you are wondering, well, how did she do this? I saw Claudia doing this, or I heard doing this. These are videos and step-by-step of little things that you can do during Zoom. So it has the videos, the tutorials that you can view them. You could practice them. We highly encourage you to practice with a friend, family, PLC, to get yourself comfortable, to understand and know where to find the different components. Now, there are so many things in here. It can be very overwhelming really quick. Start small is my best advice is utilize the tool, one or two tools, practice it, and you'll get better and you'll get more comfortable with it. So this is a very important place to go to for Zoom and delivering of our lessons. So I'm going to go back to lessons by grade level, and you're going to see that here we could choose our grade level, and you see the first 3 days. But I'm going to go ahead and go to grade 4, and this is amazing. So it has our first 3 days, and it's going to take you through. You're going to click on it. It's beautifully, easily organized. It has getting to know you activities. It has videos. It has a short description of those items that are suggestions that you can adjust as your own preference, how you would like to incorporate. It gives you some ideas. They don't have to be all incorporated. It's whatever you would want to incorporate in your classroom. Also, SEL is here, the math that we looked at. And it's organized by week, 1, 2, 3, 4. You click on the week, or you can just move down, and here it is. You can see week 1, what standard we're focusing on, MD1, and it takes you through the 4 weeks. What standard are we focusing? And then it has the hyperlinks, the lesson plans, and it also has the drive folder with all the components, the resources that we saw at the bottom of the lesson plan. They're there in that drive. Make a copy, adjust. When you're working with your PLC groups, to make it your own to fit the needs of your students, to see how you guys want to deliver that information, the lessons, okay? I'm gonna move on back up from there and go back.
Ms. Teresa, I'm gonna make you the host.
ELA. Yes.
Sorry, I'm gonna make you the host because I gotta go to 3rd grade. I'm presenting next, so.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave everybody. Thank you. We're putting eval. She's going through that. I will put the eval in there as well. And then I gotta open the other Zoom, guys. I am so sorry. They have them back for us. So Ms. Teresa, you go finish. I put their eval,
okay,
and then you can put their sign out. Love you guys.
Perfect.
Bye.
Thank you, Claudia. Just one last thing.